Okay. Kind of a very dangerous hand to keep, but we'll latch it. Because it kind of works out. Play the starting town. Don't really have to name elementals yet, so not really the animator. The cast or enter? It costs less? Okay. Pardon me? What? Pardon me? Okay. Hey, wake up to new day. Oh, wait, yo. Hold up. What? Bro. Oh, that's good. Game one, baby. Okay. Cool hand. We'll see if it works out. We have to name elemental, right? You trolling not to? At least it feels that way. Here, elemental. Pass. I think they mulled once. You gotta have 7 cards on the draw. Elemental again. Blue black. Maybe we could have shocked this. Maybe it's mill. Who's to really know? Or reanimator. Sure. I wonder what card they're gonna grab out of those. Kidding. Thunderflock's actually pretty good here. I can just play like I could just go roaming throne here. Actually, no, I can't because this only works for elementals. So we're gonna shock regardless, I guess. Maybe I go for this. This is a cast. Yeah. Be able to do both. Not really concerned about the 1/1 right now. Discard a card. Let's discard a good one, I think. Roaming throne. I don't think I'm going to play it next turn either. It's honestly more likely to be just a vibrance play and then just holding the Thunderflock as best I can. Human. So that means Awaken's not online. There is a Terror of the Peaks in there, so kind of whatever. But I can go exile these cards out of the graveyard. I'd just like for them to maybe commit a bit better, and this might be the commitment I need. So put a good one in there. Oh, it's only a land. That's kind of tough, actually. There's a bringer, so they're gonna have to discard this next turn, right? So likelihood of discarding this plus doing anything relevant is probably not great. Okay. So I think I want to attack here. Maybe do Vibrance, pop this out of the way, and then attack was Wistful. Yeah, because if they bring back a Terror, then so be it, I guess. I just don't want them to be able to chump with a 1/1 here. Much rather it be their good one. So here is where we want to go grab the Pit of Offering. Even though we're not gonna play it this turn. They know about it though. I guess I forgot that they will know about it. To be honest. Sure. Now let's figure out how to discard this and then do everything. I have 10, 11, 12 on board, plus I'm going to exile their graveyard once. Feels pretty hard to lose just overall. Unless they have a way to make me discard a land from my hand. They're just going for it. Maybe they discard this, grab a second one. That would make some sense. No, they just discarded it. But we'll know what they grabbed. It has to be a creature, so they have to reveal. Obviously, Arena forces that to happen anyway, but Deceit. Very good, actually. So I can Deceit, do kind of everything here. I don't even want to bounce their speaker. I much rather than block with the speaker. So, and I don't want them to get my Deceit back. So let us go Although I guess it stalls them a turn. And I get to crack them for a ton here. Yeah, let's actually just do both. Because, like, sure, they get to tutor again, but it doesn't really matter. Let's get the Mind Bitten out of there. Play Pit of Offering. Let's get, obviously, Bringer's one of them. Do I just take both of the Mind Bittens? They have Awaken in their hand. It could have been Terror of the Peaks. I definitely could see that being an option. Now we crack them for 10, and obviously they're in a bit of a weird spot. They take out my biggest thing. I have 10 on the board, or 10 plus on the board, and I have a way to bounce everything because this is the most expensive creature, but it's also the best creature. With the tap land here, just nothing good. Middable. You can block, or if there's a 1-drop creature, I guess, in your deck. Why they didn't play the Cavern, I won't know. Because there's definitely 2-drop creatures. Put that in your hand and win. They definitely could have, like, tried. Obviously, we had the Thunderflock. But they should have played Cavern and just named, I don't know, Human again, maybe. Because if they have another copy of that, maybe they only play one of these, but that would be kind of weird. But if they had another one of these, they could have just played the Cavern instead, because they discarded it to the Formidable Speaker, and they played this tapped. Play that, and then play a Town Greeter, and then maybe you're just good, right? Like, you're fine? I don't know. Obviously, you'd have to rip it off the top, but first here, we could start off with a Canal, because I don't think I'm going to play this on turn 2. So I can play my Vine Stock on 2. But keep up both my 1-mana removal / like turn resetters. Starting Town. Okay, we're just gonna have to play that on 3 though, which is like also fine. You can always shock this in after to play like a Roaming Throne. Okay. Oh. So is this... Where's the blue at? Okay, so it is in there. They do have a Bringer, which is a bit tough, but it's only the Bringer, to be fair. Thunderflock is huge for us. So do I not just go get Pit now and play it? Or just like play Starting Town and grab the Pit? But then they can also just copy my Vibrance, I guess. I don't know. I think we just hold. I kind of want to hopefully get to this Roaming Throne and just like pass it up maybe. That might not be reasonable. It's always the hardest part about this game in this respect, that any of these that I get rid of, they're able to just, you know, take with their Mind Bitten. So I was really hoping to kind of like try to just get to this. Valgavoth and Bringer, huh? What if I rip mine off the top? How sick would that be? Not sick enough, apparently. Want to go double green here? Can I bounce off my own? I can. Maybe it'll give me the option here. Because I don't really want them to have the option with the Mind Bitten to bring us back. So let's go grab our Pit of Offerings. This tech right here is just so sick. Then, I guess, Cavern. I don't know. We could have technically had our Vibrance die first instead of the other way around. So when it's in the graveyard, we could play the Pit and then exile the Vibrance. But, right, okay. Medable seems good. Overlord also seems good. They also just get to do it here, right? So. Okay. I wonder how my opponent's going to take their next turn. Well, they're not gonna reanimate anything, I guess. I mean, reanimates light, I guess. I could just like shock, play Vibrance, shoot her out of land. Red, red, blue, blue, or green, green. Not blue, blue. And then maybe that gives me a Thunderflock play, I guess. Falling a little bit behind here. Obviously them. I guess we already played a land, so I suppose it's just to be Cavern. Kind of a dead land for us for at least a little while. There is plays of Roaming Throne than like kicking something like this, or like doubling it by just paying 2 for something like that. Obviously Roaming Throne's colorless. This would be really sick for Wistfulness, because Wistfulness could exile, exile, exile. Obviously can't really do much about it here, but Arden's gone at least. And then Formidable Speaker. Okay. There goes the bringer. So even if I do put this back in their hand, there's not a lot I can do. They go for Deceit. Alright, well. What do I have to do? They have a Terror of Peaks in their graveyard, and that's just bad. That's bad news bears all over. So a little part of me thinks it's Cavern, Elemental, play Roaming Throne, play Vibrance, double kick, pop this. It goes to the graveyard. Then they're forced to get another one. It's not. I don't think I have a lot of outs, to be quite honest here. I'm just cooked. But that happens. I need double red to be available, so I just need to go like blue, colorless. That doesn't matter. Go here, so I have elemental, elemental. That. Pay red. Here, here. Can't let Arden just sit there to cook. There is like a world where maybe I'm supposed to just Vibrance. Well, then Arden gains a lot of life. Like, I just don't know how I beat that. I just have one anyway. Just have one anyway. I'm probably just dead regardless, right? Because then they make 2 Terror of the Peaks. Like, if they just drew another one of these regardless. I mean, they are 30 deep, so definitely possible. Yeah, the game's over. I'll move on. Okay, I mean, that just sucks. It's going to be one of our harder ones, especially when we don't find a single copy of Deceit or our own. We could have just taken their Valgavoth, but that just sucks, and we lose. Okay, well, on the play, it definitely feels like Burst Lightning into Ashling, if that matters at all. See, obviously, maybe not the best in this hand. I also won't have double green guaranteed for this, so kind of a weird hand. Oh, well, maybe not. Does feel like Ashling's going to survive a rotation. Roaming Throne pretty nice here. Elemental. Let's get Ashling down. Discard a card and loot here. I think the answer to that question is, well, I guess this isn't good, but I can play this. No. Maybe it is just get rid of Deceit here and draw a card. As much as I didn't really like doing that. Green and white is what it'll be able to tap for, but unfortunately he's going under a Seam Rip. I guess seeing that, maybe that's a reason to play towards finding a Wistfulness. You draw one anyway. So with that, I do think I'm going to exile my Deceit in their card, which makes this land tap for like 3 different colors. Actually, we can make it tap for 4. Basically a Wooburg land here at this point. And then the 1 non-land permanent to owner's hand. We could do this, but I think it's just better to Burst Lightning here. I did play a land for turn, so I'm not in like a rush. Maybe. Oh, they just pass. Okay. Well, we're both down to do that. I'm down to almost do nothing. I could tap that for a black, right? Not being trolled. Didn't think so. Now I can interact with their hand and then also have a burst lightning. Maybe they have a flanker here, it seems. Okay, they want a double spell. They have double removal, which doesn't really bother me as much as this Helena would bother me. This burst lightning doesn't answer that, and that draws them cards and gets them kind of further into the game. I just don't think I want to be bothered with that. I can play roaming throne name elemental that'll guarantee get lost. That's only for a creature, so they actually cannot get lost my roaming throne here. They can definitely pop my Ashling though. So let's just play roaming throne and name elemental here. Ward 2. But now if they want to get rid of it, they have to do it now, which fair enough. But let's take their whole turn. Eventually you have to imagine we'll get through something here. Well, let's just double down. Because we do have red, well, yeah, we have enough to do both vibrances. And they concede. Alright, cool. Okay, we can definitely keep this. We'll just play the Vine Stalk first. So we can have access to double green if we need it for Wistful. Bounce off, realistically, not like the best turn 1 play. Goblin. Okay. That is important to take out, I do know. All these lands aren't really going to help us, though. Pass it up. We'll probably let this do damage, and it will increase their speed, but I do want to slow them down a bit more. Or they do that. Okay. Have that back. Then we're probably barreling this, I assume. There's a roaming throne. Unfortunately, their entire turn is going to go unanswered here. Which does obviously suck a bit. I could just play this tapped and then Wistful, but if that's the case, we should Wistful first instead of going for the stories. So we could have found removal, discard a card. We'll get rid of an island here. If we found nothing, we'll play here. So their turn's probably what? Play this, hit me, I go roaming throne, maybe this. Although obviously Vibrance would be better if obviously we hit the land. There could be an argument that we're supposed to play this, so when I play roaming throne next turn, I have this. Maybe discarding the land's troll. I don't know. Sure. Quarry Mountain Monastery is a pretty good Magic the Gathering card. So if that's the case still, I should just play this on elemental. Makes my options the most open. Go elemental again. Ward 2 is a big deterrent. This does have death touch, so realistically we can't block it, but we can always try our best. I think a mob boss is a card that I have to play around. Okay. Ashling, huh? Yeah, but that would be so good if I can hit. So this is going to be a draw 4 here. So let's go blue. Do this. We'll double evoke, unfortunately. We need a Vibrance pretty bad. And we miss, unfortunately. I guess I kept this with no real way to play it. We play Ashling. And now we're just digging for Sunderflock, I suppose. Okay. Okay. You know, with all that said, a little part of us wish we could just have it, you know? But I feel like it's really likely that I'm cooked here, but I just don't know. At the beginning of each instep, if you descend this turn, each opponent may discard a card or sacrifice a permanent of their choice. Deals 3 damage to who doesn't. Okay. Sure. We're going to have to do some math. Okay. It's a lot. I think I'm probably dead regardless, but... Oh, these don't have haste, right? Because they don't have one that gives it haste. So if it's just this, I just let it go. Yeah, there's no way I block this, right? 0. I get to flip this. First lightning's huge. Do a blue. 4 or more, so that's fine. We want to do black for one of these. And I guess blue for the other. Then decline, obviously, that. And then now I could burst lightning this, which does take a lot of the damage away, but then that does it, right? So it should be probably start. Well, no, because double blue will be spent. So bring this out will do it. So let's do here. Grab this. I find a Thunderflock, please. We are trying our best right now. Winter Stories. It's a 1-mana draw with what I got. Card here. Exiled. Go here. Okay. Update. We'll never find it, apparently. Go here. Now I would just be too short mana, I think. Card here. Card here. Okay. I am 30 cards deep almost, and I did not find it, so that's pretty sick. This has to be... I guess it has to be like this. Then... I don't know. This, I guess. Then it's another hold, I suppose. I don't know what the math is. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I do have blocks that like make it where I don't just explode. I'm only halfway through my deck. It's fine. Again. Ooh, this could do it. Take like 2 here, I think. 3 here. Yeah, it's pretty close. Those don't really matter too much. Again, we obviously have the Thunderflock play. All out attack here. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This doesn't matter. Well, one of these will die regardless. So it should go here. Therefore, this doesn't die. And then I can just discard a card, right? I can't think of anything that gets me here. Then... Well, they didn't descend this turn, right? So I guess it's blue. This can only cast 4 mana or higher spells, right? So we definitely want to flip here. Pretty much any of these at random. Any of these at random. Okay. Decline, I guess. Yeah, decline. Just mine. If this was spent to cast, return up to one other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Holy bro, the whimsical steps I have to go through to try to win this game. Just to find one Thunderflock is crazy. Blue. At this point, it doesn't actually matter. It has to be here and... Oh, I don't have the black. I screwed up, I guess. That's not what that is. Okay, so it has to be this, and hopefully it hits. I don't have the black for this. Yep. Here. Yeah, that's a big mistake by me. I think I have enough. Decline. So win at 3. So win at 3. Game. Could have a card that gives haste, but I mean, I have to try to win, right? So I can't really mess around. In the turn, the heavy is the card I can think of, and then if I block, it's 2 damage to me. So I'd have to let the 1 through. But I could bounce Thunderflock back to hand, and then rebounce, and then go that way. Vibrance would be really sweet here, because then, you know, also, I don't think I've seen a Vibrance halfway through my deck here. Sure. Can't really do much. Sure. Sure. Oh, sure. Turn our creature or vehicle to its owner's hand. Okay. We are really trying here. Go black. Go blue. Then decline, of course. And I have a deceit in there, so it's definitely this bounce, bounce, remove, remove. I could just take out both of these. Seems good. And then pick up the Thunderflock and then replay it after combat. A double target and then target. Target. Then on the removal, we remove. Surgically get those things out of here. Now we can go to combat. Go here. Then we can play a bounce off, picking this back up. Then playing it back out. Telling them to put their stuff back in their hand. And then again, Burst Lightning is kind of here. But I think it's just play... Nah, it's just hold Burst Lightning, I guess. But now I'm at 3, weirdly safe, and we win a game I feel like we never should have. Or actually, I take that back. We were 30 cards deep, and we didn't find a Vibrance or a Thunderflock forever. And we still haven't found a Vibrance, and there's 26 cards left in my deck, which is just a gain 4 life, remove 2 creatures there. So, we'll take the win regardless. I'm on a streak of going first here, which is pretty nice. Do I want to hold up Burst Lightning? I think so. I just haven't seen a Landwar Elf Badger Mole Cub deck in a couple matches, and I can just sniff them, dude. I can smell them coming. I'm a mile away. Play that Landwar Elf on turn 1. Let me Burst Lightning it. Lied. It's a Moon Shadow. To be fair, equally a good deal. Then it's just straight up. I guess I want the red online for Vibrance regardless. Well, then I have to spend the blue. So weirdly enough, I have to shock it this way. Because I want to use the blue to flip this, and then we want a Vibrance. Do I want to discard a card? I will get rid of a Breeding Pool here. Deceit's a good one. No black mana to obviously do it, though, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Got a lot of good cards. Just need ways to pay them off. They could Bitter Triumph me here, which would suck. They flail. Okay. And they concede. Interesting. All right. Deal. To be fair, we probably drew the best card for the scenario in the game, in the fact that we would just shock this in. well, we flip this and make 2. We chalk this in, and then we'd play a roaming throne, naming elemental. And there's not really a card I can think of that can get rid of this. And then from there, it's just do the thing that I would love to do. So, cool, I guess. I don't know who I made happy to let me go first this often, but getting me in trouble. I just definitely had to shame scoop my last game because I've just been playing a lot of paper. And I just put the reanimate guy on the stack instead of tapping and ensuring that the mana made sense. Therefore, I mind bittened out my deceit without triggering any of its modes. So that was pretty sick. I was pretty proud of that moment. Kind of one of my better moments of all time. It's going to be used for elemental, so obviously roaming thrones, unfortunately, not in that equation. So, I guess here, combat, hit for 2, play here. Although this is a deadly cover-up deck, so it's kind of a bit tough. A little part of me wants to hopefully jam this roaming throne next turn. Maybe it is. Oh, it's Doomsday. Okay. That's pretty bad, too. To be quite honest, but... if they have the board wipe, they have the board wipe. I'm not playing around it all day. Okay, sure. That's how we're playing this. Deal, I suppose. Not a great deal for me, but it's a deal nevertheless. Maybe they have board wipe now. Do I have a way to get rid of this? No, but I do have a way to put this back in their hand. This isn't target player. Yeah, so elemental. Block who sunders. And just black them, I guess. Down to 6. If I have one more land in here, this becomes a threat. I don't know. They have to have board wipe. Or Doomsday times 2, but that was off of mind bidding, so. Triumph, sure. I'm bidding. Sure. Win the video game? Good game. Definitely a tough one. Definitely a tough one. I guess I realistically didn't have the win, but yeah. A weird one. A weird one to end on. After punting. Yeah, so it was this card. I definitely didn't tap for double black against my control opponent and then just put this on the stack, and it didn't ask me because it's like, why would it? Because that's not how this card functions, and I lost the game. So I shame scooped and then moved on and cried about it. So that was that game. Okay, so here we are with the elementals list, and I am personally playing the Mind Biddens. I think the card is just a little too good to not be playing, with Starting Town included in Caverns along with a Pit of Offering. In Best of One, I kind of weirdly almost want a second one of these. But I think oftentimes if your lands are coming in tap too often, you're going to lose because you do play a lot of early game stuff that you would like to get online. And it doesn't necessarily look at it like that or look like it like that. But when you put it like this on realistically what the casting cost of your deck is, it looks like this. And that's a ton of 2-mana spells that you kind of want to be able to have active at all times. So not necessarily having that up and loaded is kind of bad. So Pit of Offering, a very good tech card, I think, in the current meta, so that's pretty nice, especially if you go against another reanimate deck. I'll just put the C right here. And especially if you go against another reanimator deck. And then the challenge placing list was not playing these, and I just feel like you have to be. I think this card is just a little too good, especially in something like this. We saw in the one deck where I dug and dug and dug and dug how the card was good. Outside the time that I didn't really think about it, because I don't think in my head that, like, at the time, I don't think I thought that I could bounce my own creature with this or even with this. So I definitely punted that play. But if I were in that spot again, hopefully I would find it because, you know, I now know that, like, hey, with Deceit, we can pick that back up and replay it. So we should name black on one of my Ashling triggers. So that is pretty cool. But I had a lot of fun. I am doing a bit of my final kind of moving. I know I've been moving for a while, but anybody knows, like, I had to get the gas checked. I had to get the internet online, and then middle of getting the internet online, there was a tornado warning, which was kind of crazy. Don't get those very often where I live, and by very often, I don't know if I've ever had one in the fact of that, but the person who set up my internet definitely got rained on quite a bit. Felt pretty bad for him, but we got it all set up, and now it's just the moving process. But I'm also in my work week, so it'll take a little while. Probably not a lot of intros and stuff like that. We're just going to kind of jam some games, upload it, and try to have a good time. So with that, I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.